Come on, everybody, let's start the show. A quick ahoy hoy and away we'll go. Richard's got a minifig and Flynn's got a pin. The gang's all here and it's time to begin. Tricky Bricks roll call. Moto, Holly, Cara, and sometimes Blair, Clicky, Logan, Ms. Thing and Angela, and Thunderman Ho! Now you're here to grab your bricks and let's go to the Tricky Bricks Build and Chat Show!
Ahoy, hoy, everyone.
Ahoy, hoy, friends. How's it going? Happy Sunday. Here we are, another Sunday morning stream. Well, afternoon for some of you, and I'm sure other times all around the world. But
Brunch time here in the West.
Sure.
It is.
Yes.
It's later than breakfast.
All right. So we are going to be obviously looking at the latest episode of Lego Masters.
The penultimate episode.
The penultimate episode is true. And we're going to be talking about that, and we're going to be talking about some of the sets that came that are going to be coming out soon and kind of getting everybody's take on them. And I know one of our crew has a very special set that not a lot of people in the U.S. probably have, but it's very exciting. So
go get her.
Speaking of her.
Oh, well, I meant she is a go-getter.
Yes. Speaking of her, everybody, please welcome to the stream. It's Holly.
Hi, Holly.
Hi, Holly.
Oh, hi, everyone. How is everyone this morning?
Good.
We are good. We have coffee.
We do.
So there you go.
And my special Richard cup.
That's pretty much all That's pretty much all we gotta say. We have coffee.
Thanks, Vicky Luttrell, for this cool coffee cup.
Also, welcoming in from just over across the Bay Bridge in the delightful city of San Francisco, it is Minifig Chick. Hi, Cara.
Hi,
Hey,
Cara.
guys. Hi, everyone.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. We have coffee, so all is well.
I'm dying to know what set Holly has that the rest of us don't.
Oh, well, that's most sets, I think. But yeah,
well, that's true.
I mean, we've seen the vault.
Hey,
So, and also, please welcome to the show our regular, irregular cast member and season 2 Lego Master. It's Moto.
Hi, Moto.
Hi, Moto.
Hey.
Hello, guys.
Spreading the
Good
love
morning.
to Amy and Jamie with your pink shirt.
Look, this shirt's gonna. This is it. We're next week. This is the last time I get to wear it regularly. You know.
You can wear.
Unless it's next time.
You may wear that whenever you want. I'm just saying, like that is a.
Oh yeah.
So whenever you feel like it, kind of shirt, in my opinion. So very nice. Designed by Will Heron, by the way.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. Amazing.
Awesome shirt designer.
Person.
So my goodness, there was so much Lego news this week. Now a lot of this we already went over on our Friday show, but I did kind of want to get everybody else's impressions of some of the things, because I know we were talking about how so many good sets have come out before now, like, and then I've been sort of like in my mind going, what's going to be coming for the holidays, because they're saving some really good stuff for the holidays. So
everything great is saved for the holidays.
Yes, well, we've and I can say for sure that we are going to be getting some cool stuff. October 1st is like kind of like one of those big dates, kind of like August 1st was. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming out, some of which has been announced, some of which has not been announced. And I am excited to say that we are going to be revealing 3 sets ourselves this week.
Crazy.
3, count them.
3 of them, including a very, very special one that we are dedicating a special Wednesday night live stream, which we've never done before, a special Wednesday night live stream this Wednesday with April B, with Dr. Cat Builds, with Yano and ourselves, and Jay Ong from Jay's Brick Blog out of Australia. So really excited to have him join us for this chat about a set that I think is going to be very exciting to a lot of people. So looking forward to that. And then also we'll be doing reveals on Thursday and Friday. So that's going to be
Thursday.
Lots of secret squirrel going on.
What's happening
over
on
here.
Thursday?
I can't say, but it's
Well,
a
I mean,
thing.
it's not a normal day for you.
No. I just mean like it'll be on Instagram, that particular
I
one,
gotcha.
and then we'll talk about them on Friday, as well as talking about the Lego Masters finale. Because as you may know, if you've been paying attention, that our current challenge, which is the We Are Family Challenge, which we are doing in cahoots with Yano River Blue. Yano's sort of heading up the whole thing. We're just sort of coming along and helping out a little bit here towards the end.
That's in honor of Talk Like a Pirate Day.
In honor of Talk Like a Pirate Day, which is next Sunday. So we've done a little switcheroo, and we're going to do Friday will be the Lego Masters chat. Next Sunday will be the Talk Like a Pirate Day special where we show everybody's amazing pirate builds. So
I'm so excited for my entry. I'm so excited for you guys.
I'm excited for you. Excited for you for your entry as well. I'm excited for mine, although I haven't started it yet. I will be working on it this week. So very excited. All right. So let's see.
So that's a lot coming up.
It is a lot coming up. A lot going on this week, friends. And then after that, we will be wondering what we're going to talk about on Sundays again.
What would be left to talk about?
There's always plenty.
Although I'm sure there will be plenty to talk about because there always is.
Were you suggesting we do the sort of super quick wrap up of what those news stories were?
Yeah, we are gonna be doing that first. Though I want Holly to show everybody so that they can see with jealousy the set that she has that most of us here in the U.S. don't have.
But you can.
there you go.
Very nice.
It's not too hard. I put a link in the Tricky Bricks Discord last week for Zavi, which is how I acquired mine, and it got here pretty quick. So as long as they're still available, I would grab one ASAP if you're
It's
interested.
so cute.
Very
if nothing
cool.
else, but for that many parts in that color.
Right. Well,
No
now
kidding.
this is also too, just for anybody who doesn't know, Lego is doing an experiment in the UK and Ireland of trying out some recolors of older sets, or what am I trying to say? Other sets that have already come out in other colors. Like this one originally came out in yellow. We actually built it on our show. Yeah. And now they are doing that light royal blue, which is incredible.
Like Tiffany blue. I want to get my Audrey Hepburn minifigure and put it in there.
Right.
Although that'd be more like a little scooter, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I so let's kick off with pins, and then we're gonna say hello to everybody who's all up in the chat today. So let's go ahead and we're gonna pins this thing.
Oh, you're
By
gonna
the way, I
mine.
cannot find that Fiat on Zavi anymore.
Oh, really?
Oh dear.
Well,
Uh-oh.
hopefully somebody caught it in the chat last week on Discord.
All right then.
They don't last
Okay.
forever, y'all.
Well, let's see. Let's start off with the not only is she the queen of links, but she's also the queen of pins. It's Cara. What have you got, Cara?
I have a very special pin that you cannot buy, at least
Okay.
not at Disneyland or Disney World. It's Backstage Magic. And you can only get this if you go on the Walt Disney World Backstage Tour, which is an 8-hour tour that takes you to all 4 parks. Gets you like a behind the scenes at the Safari World, and you get on front on a lot of the rides, and you get lunch, and it was just you get to see behind the scenes at where they built the topiaries and stuff. We got to walk through the costuming department. It was just incredible. And,
How fun!
It sounds like so much fun.
What a great way to commemorate it with, of course, a pin.
And they give you a pin. So
Very cool.
They get it about pins.
they do.
Absolutely. All right, Holly, what have you got for us today? Is it
You don't like
perhaps
this one?
another pin by your artist friend?
Nope. No more of those that I'm going to show.
Okay.
We're moving on to the Labyrinth.
Ah!
cute.
That
Through
is
your pen.
great.
It's what, Sir Didymus and Ambrosius, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so amazing. It's
Yeah.
Sir Didymus and
Skittles.
Sorry about screaming there, but that was just too exciting. That's
Yeah, this
awesome.
is a good one. That's one of my favorites.
Might I say yes to that?
You shattered wine
all right.
glasses in people's living rooms.
I did. I'm terrible. All right. So don't forget, everybody, we're going to be shouting out everybody in the chat soon. So make sure and pop your name in there so we get to say hello to you. Moto, what have you got for us today?
One that you gave to me, but I have no idea. I don't know. It's so strange. It's a teddy bear, but I don't know what's going on with it.
It's Mickey.
That's Mickey Mouse. There was a series, I think it's still ongoing, called Vinylmation. And it was along the lines of, I don't know if anybody remembers the Dunny and the Money figures that they put out. This is like many, many years ago now. And it would be a blank vinyl figure that which you would then paint yourself. And a lot of like famous artists and stuff have done ones. And this was kind of the Mickey Mouse version. But yes, it looks like your white blood cell count is doing well.
Is it a snow globe, maybe?
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know.
Mickey's got some mutagen problems.
It's one of the more out there variants.
It's a pretty,
I bet
it's
if we
cool,
figured
though.
out who the artist was and like looked up the portfolio, it would probably make sense.
Yeah. Very cool, though.
Who knows? It's a mystery.
Who knows? Who can say?
From their blobby period.
It's an art. It's It's art, Moto.
All right.
There's no bird on it.
All right, now
What do we got here?
I need before you do that, I need just a second because I've got
Clicky.
where's Clicky? Clicky's got to be got to get their stuff together. Okay, Clicky, you are here and on the job. Is that what you're telling me?
2 places at once. Okay.
All right,
so
here we
we're
go.
looking
Here's
here.
ours for today.
I'm thinking about superheroes, and I've got Tiny Thor.
Aw.
Tiny Thor.
He's so cute.
Who's, I guess, a Disney
adorable.
princess.
It's
Yeah.
adorable. Yeah.
There you go.
Disney Prince, yeah.
And I have got
Oh, wow.
a very cheerful Cheshire cat who's, we can see his whole head and his smile, not just the smile, but man, those are some teeth.
That's the Cheshire
just
cat
saying.
I want to run into because some of them are kind of scary.
There are some truly terrifying ones. I do
There are.
agree. Awesome. Woo woo. Pin time. All right.
you go.
Now,
You could be a princess.
now, next up, we've got. Going to say hello to everybody who's in the chat.
There's a
And
bunch
there's
of
lots
people
of
there.
interesting comments in the chat too. You might have to go back and
Like that one.
Spewing magic. Hell,
Oh my
mate.
goodness. Yes, I did say yes. It's true. I did say that.
yeah. Did you see the comment about Matthew Ashton teasing that he got that there's like a dream license for CMFs?
Yes.
What could that be?
What?
Yeah, I don't know. There's many things it could be. And I know he did reveal on an Instagram live that he's going to be working on Monkey Kid sets, which means more Monkey Kid sets.
Yeah.
Which I'm like,
He also teased on Instagram a white a white masonry brick.
yes, a white masonry brick, which funny enough has been available on Bricks and Pieces for quite some time now, despite having never appeared yet in a set.
That's weird.
I think we're probably going to find out soon though. If he's teasing it, that means that
Mhm.
set's going to be announced.
Well, I
soon.
loved his tease of the Everyone is Awesome set where he just
Yeah.
showed a 1x2 brick of each color like every day
Yes.
for like a week, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
And I mean, it made it funnier because I at that point like already knew what it was going to be, and I was just watching that reveal, going, "Oh man."
Yeah.
It was too funny.
Now, I give it pretty good odds that the white masonry brick is going to be in the one of the holiday sets.
Well,
probably.
possibly. I will say that speaking
seen one
of,
of them.
nice segue there, but
Thanks.
we have not segued quite to that point yet. We're still going to say hi to everybody
Sorry, that was my
who
fault.
is
Hi,
going to be who is here today. We've got Two Humble Bricks is here. Hello. Apples is here from Europe, and I saw Apples mentioned earlier that so you may know we reviewed the Fender Stratocaster on Friday, and the fan designer is in Apple's lug.
Oh, cool.
That's so awesome.
They're all very proud of their lug mate. That's awesome. Brickaroo Bonsai. Hey, haven't seen you in a little while. Good to see you. Brickham's Den. Chris Mojo Gone Chalice. I feel you, buddy. I feel you. Darren Siegfried, Fabufan MKE, Hooded One, John Luttrell and Vicky. Hello, how's it going? Marilyn Parmley, Matthew Builds Bricks, Minifig Nick, Minifig Chick, and Moto. Marilyn Parmley, Matthew Builds Bricks, Minifig Chick, Minifig Nick, and Moto. I know, I'm missing Monica Berry in there.
Wow.
P.T. McEwen is here. Patrick Wismer, Red Carnage, Rob Zaccardi and the Zaccardis. Ahoy, hoy, everyone.
Slug Biker,
Wilfred Bonsoir, Wyatt Builds, and Zach Martinez. And of course, Zarakino, Kim, wherever you are. Hello. And to all the others who may not be here today. Now, I know for a fact that there are, I think, 2 or 3 actual in-person conventions happening this weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of conventions.
Which is why our panel is a little smaller than we normally have. We've got or at least that we normally have been lately.
Well, this feels old school.
Yeah, I know that Brickfest Live.
Cozy.
Brickfest Live is happening. There's a London Brick Show happening. Brick Universe is happening. That's crazy. Hey, ahoy, hoy, Johnny Cat and Atorn G2. Okay, thank you for pinging Monica. I hope she'll be joining us soon. It's not a show without Monica being in the chat, I gotta say.
Exactly.
Chris Chalice points out the London Brick Show.
Yeah, I just mentioned that. Yeah, it's going. There's a lot going on this weekend. But now I'm going to go back to a segue where
like a holiday set.
Richard ruminated that perhaps the white brick would be in one of the holiday sets, and what we got a reveal of this week was the new Winter Village set. And again, we went over these on Friday, so if you've seen this before, my apologies, but I did want to get for those of you who didn't see the show and everybody here on the panel,
this is sort of the Cliff's Notes version.
Indeed. So let's get sorry, doing a bunch of tech work here. There we go. Ooh,
look at that.
We have Santa's Visit.
Yes.
Now, this is such a cute set. I love the architecture of this. I love that corner, like crazy corner presented building with the center. It's just, and of course, more of that great of a great blue color.
I think
it'll green claws.
Villages.
Yeah, yeah. The green claws were just introduced in one of the Ninjago. Ninjago. It was one of those. It was either Ninjago or like the Chinese sets. I can't remember now.
Oh, like the Spring Lantern Festival or something? Oh, no, there are some in Ninjago City Gardens. I just remembered there's a bush that's made out of them in Ninjago City Gardens. I completely forgot about that. You're right.
Well, they go great.
I've been trying to get some of those, so I'm happy to see more of them.
Well, I love those. The turquoise pajamas on the little girl figure is really great.
Yeah.
This is going to be a lot of fun. The fence is really great. Now, I noticed that that's a fence piece that's then been surrounded by other pieces to create a different style of fence, and with the snow on top.
Oh yeah,
it's
love it.
Really, really adorable.
I like the
this
dove.
is another Chris McVeigh set, right? Who I think did the Elf Clubhouse, right?
Yes, Chris McVeigh, absolutely. I love. Now we can actually see this better today than we were able to see it the other day. I love that the little girl has a space poster and a model of Saturn in her room.
Yes,
which is great.
I know, it's like Amy.
Super, super cute. I love the fireplace. I don't know. What do y'all think about this new set?
Day one purchase. It's so delightful. And I mean, I have almost all of the other Winter Villages. Almost. I don't have some of the earlier ones.
Right.
But I have to have it. Have to add it to my Winter Village.
Yeah, I have all the Winter Village sets since before it was even Winter Village. So it's gotta collect them all for me. So this is one I'll be happy to have.
Yeah, and then I think, and Moto too. What Moto might like to know about this set is that the tree is the first ever illuminated tree in a Lego in a one of these Winter Village sets, which is
what do you mean?
Lit up. It lights up.
It lights
Yeah,
up.
it lights up. Mhm.
Yeah, you
it lights
press
up.
the top of it down and it hits the light brick and it
my
lights up.
word.
Yeah, you can see
Finally.
it peeking through.
Pretty fantastic.
I think the way they finished out the roof on that corner, with the corner entry is really clever.
Yeah, it's a cute. Oh, and also too,
With Technic.
Cara, of note here is the KitchenAid mixer using a whisk
Yes.
as the whisk for the thing. It's super
I
cute.
actually saw that the other day. And for
Is that
those
the
of you
first
who are
time I've done
wondering,
that?
I have an obsession with whisks.
Hey, Jeff Kramer, how's it going? If I didn't say hello to you earlier, hello. Axel Plate is here. Yes, and so it actually does. And Alexander23 popped in. Hello. And Monica is here. Oh, thank goodness.
Yay.
Can rest
My
easy
life is
now.
complete.
What is
Oh, yes.
don't-
And another feature of this set, Santa, first of all, has a new printed Santa face. He
Ooh,
actually has
cool.
a beard under his beard now, like
Is that
a white beard. And
Okay.
you can put him down the chimney and he will go all the way down into the house.
Oh, no way.
Yes. So don't leave the lights or the fire on in there. It's going to be a problem.
Is that a gold sack that he's carrying?
No,
It
it looks
looks
like
like-
the dark orange.
Yeah.
Oh, does it?
Yes.
Okay. It's hard to
That's
tell.
Yeah.
tiny.
It is kind of hard to tell. And then, of course, I love the cute little pink package in the attic.
It's a secret.
It's the one that the parents hid and then forgot about.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And they'll find it in like 5 years. Oh, no, the hamster. Oh, God, no, please.
Oh dear, I thought that was a cake.
Whoa, that took a swift turn.
I thought that was a cake in the attic. Thank goodness it's a gift.
Well, as long as it's
Oh,
not a
actually, you know
hamster.
what? We're actually at the end of talking about this particular thing, but we're going to take a quick pause, everyone, because we have sometimes Blair live from Comic-Con.
Hey everybody!
Hey, Blair.
Hey.
I can't hear anybody, but I wanted to say ahoy hoy from Rose City Comic Con. Give a
Hello.
little quick tour of our Lego display for Portlug. So I'm gonna give us a little action spin around. We've got some cool stuff from Jake Sadovich
Yeah.
and myself over here. We're gonna do like a flyby tour,
He'll make something kind of impressive.
Well, this is awesome.
checking out all the awesome builds that we've got over here. Some stuff from Boone. We got our
Ben.
life-size Minecraft. Really cool mosaics.
Whoa,
That's
That is
really good.
that is so
incredible.
cool.
Giving a quick spin as we come around the corner.
Hey, Chris.
Say hi to Tricky Bricks.
Hi.
Hi.
Checking out all the
Whoa, those are
awesome mosaics,
Wow.
superhero symbols,
You guys. Oh, yeah.
my
there's-
Schitt's Creek characters.
Yay.
It's too bad I took mine apart.
Oh, those mosaics are awesome.
And then coming around,
Yeah, wait till you see Brick
we
Dad.
got Boone's Castle
Yay.
and Mark's stuff. Say hi to Tricky Bricks.
Well, there's heart ache.
And some amazing
Here it is.
Batman
Here it comes.
action
Here it
over
comes.
here.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Fully functional
Whoa.
retro Batcave and Batcuter.
Nice.
That's cool.
Incredible.
Ryan's such a
So that's
doll.
the lowdown from Rose City Comic Con. Have fun, y'all.
Hi,
And I'll catch you
June.
next
Hi,
week.
June.
Bye.
Bye. Well, that was
That's
crazy.
wow. That was so
That's awesome.
What a great little visit from.
It makes me so sad I'm not there. That's a local convention to me.
I know.
Yeah.
I was amazed. I gotta say, I was blown away by those mosaics. Like, I know, like mosaics, especially since the official Lego ones have come out, have become more into builders' consciousness.
Well,
I
those
think
were so bold.
they were great. Those superhero ones were fantastic. Really great.
I love Boone's Blue Castle too.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
Boone's
cool.
Boone's
Yeah.
Castle was great, and that Bat Cave with the screens.
That was
Wow.
super cool.
That-
Yeah, that's
Wow.
Ryan. That's Brick Bat Dad on Instagram. He's the same guy that did the giant bat wing that was on display at Brick's Cascade last time you guys were here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, was that same piece? We just saw that same piece again, but without the background, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
before it
same
had
bat
that.
wing, just no background. Yeah.
Yep.
He probably needed those pieces for the one with the
for the
iPad.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Well, that was pretty super cool.
Well,
I gotta say,
fun! Right from the scene.
Wish I was there.
Okay, so let's get back to real quick talking about these other sets that were announced this week. I know, Moto, you're not necessarily into sets. You're not like necessarily a set guy, but I'm interested on your take on this next thing, just because it's got some really interesting mechanics in it. And that is the Mario question cube.
yeah.
Now, I know that there were some Mario fans who maybe were hoping for something else. But I like to take these sets on their own merits rather than what they could have been, but like what they actually are. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts on this this opening cube?
Oh, dude, it's killer. Are you kidding? It's amazing.
Yeah,
the whole flip function is just wicked, and the presentation and the things coming. It's almost like someone made a brief where it's like, great, we have this pop-out book. Now, how do we amp it up?
Yes.
And it just, it's like taking a pop-up book and just amplifying it to the next level. It's so crazy good.
Yeah. And the cube is so, other than the question marks, the cube is so studless and really just smooth. It looks great.
Yeah, I gotta say too, it really makes me like, especially when you see the bottom of this image where there's that sort of little flap that sticks out at the bottom. It makes me think so much of Mel Caddick and her thing of adding little drawers and little hideaways into her sets. I think that's such a fun way to go. But wow, just incredibly cool. And lots of mustaches, lots of printed mustaches in this set.
I can imagine.
Yep.
One of my favorite things is Micro Mario.
And did you see this? It's probably maybe hard to see on the screen. I can see it on my big screen, but that little tombstone tile is a stained glass of Princess Peach.
Yeah,
as it should be.
It comes through. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Which is really, really cool. And do I see dark green ice cream scoops?
Yep, you do.
Oh.
Or popcorns. Popcorns is what I call it. Yeah.
Green popcorn.
Nice.
Just because ice cream is technically poop, right?
Oh no!
So that's swirly.
For real, like the
Soft
like
serve.
the
soft
what looks like turd is actually I think considered an ice cream piece. So.
I've seen this used as ice cream a lot. Those little scoops. I think it's really. I think those are cool. And grapes. We've seen them used as grapes in the Friends set. All right. So yeah, again, lots of mustaches.
Yes.
King Bob-omb is awesome. And we got the little ice area that everybody will know the name of that I don't because I'm old.
See this. Okay, so this one photo, just this photo. What I love about it is that the tombstone tile on the penguin is not at the correct angle, which shows you that even Lego messes up a little bit.
Well, it's funny, you can look at things for an hour or 2 hours and not see that one thing until after you've taken the photo and put everything away.
Well, if I remember correctly, I feel like when the corner garage came out, or one of the modular sets, and it was in the catalog missing a piece. Like there was a full-on missing piece.
Oh my gosh.
Like a column or something. I don't know.
But I love it. I love that it's brick built, someone built it. And there's always imperfections in our builds. And that's what I just love about, even Lego's official work is you get to see those little tiny things where people are doing their best. And it's not OCD perfection.
Yeah,
sorry for the distraction. I love that one little angle.
No, thank you, Blair.
Thank you, Blair.
Awesome seeing you. That's great.
Moto, please distract away. This show is all distractions.
Pretty much.
It's just rabbit hole after rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So, so those were the two big sets, including the Fender Stratocaster that came out that were revealed this week. we were fortunate enough to get to build and that. And if you want to see our review, please check out Friday's show. Give it a little thumbs up, like to see a little bit about that. We start the review about halfway into the show, like we always do, blabbing about lots of other stuff beforehand. So then the other big news this last week is that Monkey Kid cartoon is now finally going to be available in the U.S. On Amazon.
Can find out what that's all about.
And so we can finally find out what's up with Sandy. We can finally find out what all of the hubbub is about the Spider Queen. I'm really personally excited about learning more of the lore because I really do like the sets so very much. I think they're super cool. So Brickham's Den was asking about, does it all pop out or do you have to connect the two side platforms after the flip? I think it all
just collapses in and tumbles back.
It all collapses in.
They open up to the side and then the thing pops up.
Yeah, there's a little video of it that you can check out that shows all of that. So.
I don't know what that little compartment is though.
The one in the bottom? Yeah, no. I didn't see what that was about.
Maybe it's a release. It might be like how do you open it up in the first place, right?
Yeah, so like a whole
it's a mystery.
Out. Yeah, it's a mystery. Well, that's why there's a question mark.
We could
Yeah.
I wonder how many people, when they open it up, are going to make the little sound effect like bloop, 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 bloop.
Oh,
I would.
Well, that's actually an interesting point, Moto, because it does interact with the Mario and Luigi
come on.
electronic toys. So you can you can put them on certain areas and they have special like reaction sounds that are specific to this model.
So of course it makes the sound effect for you.
Yes. So that you don't have to worry about it.
Why would you not want to make it though?
I'll do it anyway.
Exactly.
Without Mario. I don't even need Mario.
And just real quick, wanted to just show everybody real quick. If you didn't see the show Friday and you want to see what you're getting yourself into, this is the Stratocaster and the amp.
So cool.
Love it so much.
It's really great. There's definitely some fiddliness issues, if you will.
Tricky bits.
There's some tricky bits for sure, but it's a great little model, and definitely check out Friday's show if you would for the full review.
I might buy that one.
Wow.
That's how good
Definitely
it is.
buying that one.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
I don't care if Eric doesn't like it. I like it.
Right. Well, I think
I figured Eric would love it.
I figured we knew this already. We knew this already. And
be hypercritical. He knows what a guitar should look like, unfortunately.
And if you didn't know, they do provide you bricks to build it in either black or red, which is pretty cool. So, and I actually took a vote. I built it on my Twitch stream, and it was voted. Red was the voted one in by a long shot. Actually,
I think the thing a lot of fans would really like is the inside of the amp. I'm more excited about the details of the amp than I am about the guitar.
Same. I felt the same way. I was like, the guitar it is kind of hard. Yeah, he agrees. The amp is cooler. Like while you were building it, it was pretty easy to be kind of hypercritical of the guitar because of proportions and scale of this versus that and some shaping and things. But then you get into the inside of the amp and you're like, okay, that's pretty dope. Like that's definitely easier to create in Lego.
It is.
He says he'll buy the amp. He's going to throw away the guitar, but he likes it.
I got to say, there's a lot of really cool, a lot of really great snot work that goes into making those curves. Yeah. And again, like we talked about before, there's a certain amount of, I don't know, changing and consolidating that you have to do when you take a life-size object, shrink it down to this size, and then make it out of Lego bricks, which are a finite medium.
Well, it's abstraction, right? You have to figure out what details go away.
That was pretty much his comment was like, you can't make a guitar out of Lego. I mean, obviously they did. You can. It's just not going to be like hyper real accurate, you know?
Well, if you want it to be hyper real accurate, you'd almost have to build it bigger than life size.
Yeah.
You know, to really get it smooth.
Yeah. So, all right. Let us move on to talking about the reason that a lot of people are here, which is to talk about the Lego Masters Season 2 Episode 11, Cliffhanger was the name of this episode. Now, it's interesting. I was talking to Richard. I was like, wow, we're going to have not as much to talk about because we're down to 4 models. When we used to remember when we were talking about 12 and trying to like blaze through 12 models in the show. So now we are down to a few, which is actually nice. We can take a little bit of a closer look. And I wanted to thank you. I wanted to say a big thanks to Yano, who got these screenshots for us from her breakdowns that she does, and was kind enough to let us use them. So thank you so much, Yano. Appreciate that, because guess what? Once again, Fox didn't send pictures of the final builds.
I'm shocked.
So there you go.
Well, I love this challenge. I wish that we had had a chance to do this challenge, and it would have been terrifying. It would have been terrifying, you know, on the level of the bridge, but a little more.
This is the season 2 equivalent of a bridge challenge. It just doesn't have another end to it. Yeah.
And I noticed too that when they were talking about the challenge, they really leaned into the whole storytelling and aesthetics, kind of the stuff that was the big theme of our season: technical ability, storytelling, and you know, those were, they really did do those a lot. So, but I will say that it gave us some really beautiful builds. So,
yes.
All right. Let's see what we got here. We are going to go. Sorry, everybody. I'm just getting this set up here.
You know who worked really hard in this episode, who wasn't a competitor, is, I don't know if it was Nathan Sawaya.
It was Nathan Sawaya and Brandon Griffiths and his crew,
who did these amazing cliffs, which were enormous builds, really beautifully designed.
Right.
They were.
And you know, they had a lot of time to do it, right?
So my question is, those 1x2 yellow bricks that were protruding out from the wall, were those just 2x2s or 2 by something that were just like built into the wall?
Yeah,
I had supposed that they were 2x4s or longer, but they said in the episode they were 2x2s.
But he showed them in his hand and said they were all built on this. But I think the point was
I bet they're longer.
I think they're longer and built in. Otherwise, how would you do it without gluing them? But it looked like
they probably were glued.
Yeah, I imagine so too. Yeah. But I don't. I highly doubt they would just have glued the pieces that are supposed to support the entire model onto a wall. Like
not to the outside. But I bet they were glued. Like I bet the whole wall
for sure.
was glued.
Well, you know, they had discussions that if one of these builds fell, it shouldn't be because of the set piece.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
I'm sure there was some testing done. You know?
There was that danger, right? There was the danger of possibility of falling.
Well, I like that about this episode. People weren't like taking a hammer and smashing things or like throwing it off of something, but there was this huge like tension. Is it gonna fall?
Right.
And that was just totally down to your skill.
And luckily, no one's did.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Gosh, that
all
would
right.
have been awful.
So let's kick off with our first stream. So this was our first stream for our first build. So this is from Mark and Steven. And there was quite a bit of banter around Castle Bros, Castle Brothers, Castle this and that business.
Had to fill the time with something, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. It couldn't possibly be filled with actual Lego building.
Now, before we go to dive too deep into this, I wanted to show what Richard was talking about, and that was that incredible work that went into that wall piece. And they had to make 4 of those. Like, that's a lot of work, and I really love the shapes that they were able to make on that back wall. Well, it just looks so cool.
I think they were like 7 feet tall.
Yeah, they were really big.
They're huge.
So pretty cool, I gotta say. I really, I was like, when I first saw that whole wall, I was like, oh man, that must have taken so long to build. But so this was Mark and Steven's build. Now they are castle builders from way back. So they really know their castle for sure. And they gave us a really cool. I love the color scheme here. The white and blue is really nice.
Well, you hear him say in the episode that the white would really stand out against the wall, and I think it was very bold. You could see from across the room.
Yeah,
and smart choice.
And of course, I love their gem dragon that was all made with red transparent pieces, which is fantastic. Let's take a look at another angle here.
There we go.
They also had some like things hanging off the side and I like the pop of orange coming off the roofs. And of course, once again, dots for some great little details.
One of my favorite elements of this are the parts. I don't know the architectural name, but the parts that protrude below the towers, the sort of little pendants.
Yeah, stalagmites. I can never remember which one is which. Moto would probably know. Stalactites?
Stalactites.
Mites or tights?
Tights are the hang down ones.
Stalactites are tied in the ceiling, and stalagmites might grow up to meet them.
Oh, what a great way.
I did caving for a while. Yeah,
thank you. All right. Let's see. We've got.
So they gave a really good story, right?
Yeah, they gave a good story. They had their people running from the gem dragon. I thought it was, and I really love how the doors are sort of like at an angle, kind of like blown off the front. Really, really cool. Let's see.
And I even liked that you didn't get to see.
Yep, there's a little.
You saw them only in passing, but the brick-built horses.
Yes, they did brick-built horses. They did these little boats down on the bottom, which I think
didn't see that at all.
They incorporated some stuff into the bottom as well. Nice. I thought that was really cool.
And I believe this one has an Easter egg, but I'm just not seeing it. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember.
I'll keep my eyes out.
And there's another. Oh, and this was like their mine car with the gems, with
stealing the jewel.
That's what it is. That gem is equivalent to the gem that they wore in Hats Incredible for the ring.
Oh.
So it's an Easter egg throwback to the Hats Incredible challenge for their accessory.
Very good, very good. Oh, cool. All right. Yeah.
And once again, all brick belt figures. They still have not used a minifig in any of their belts.
That's probably smart.
You know what? That's true.
Creative.
Wow. Yep. Pinkwell 3 is saying Mark said there were cameras in the base of the cliffs to capture any collapses.
Of course there were.
Of course there were.
Yeah. They were counting on it, man. Counting on it.
Okay, now before we before we move on,
it's that time.
It is absolutely time for the pause that refreshes.
What could it be, Flynn?
I don't know. You tell me. It's the reason. It's the reason for the season. Everybody, it's Logan Cookie Time.
And here he is,
for his entrance. Oh, there he is. Hi, Bubba.
He was just hanging out.
I know. How's it going? Say hi to your fans. Good boy, Logan.
Say hi.
Okay, okay.
The ears. Like he's going to take off.
Okay, can you catch? Okay, we're going to try this. Stay. It's hard. Stay.
Yay! He did it. Good boy, Logan. Yay! All right. And it is Skittles is here.
We're not ready for that yet.
No, we're not. No.
Well,
he's barely ready.
Yeah,
that was the first time.
The trick is he's supposed to hold it.
We'll work on that one.
Longer than a quarter second.
Wow, that was amazing. Okay, and we've got. Look, and there's a little lamb, a little lost lamb who's found his way into Moto Land. And we have Brick Logan.
Yeah.
Somersaults.
Awesome.
All right, so she will sit there with it on her nose, but she doesn't know how to like pop it up.
I think that's the first time he's ever done it fully, right? Like that was the first.
We've done it dozens of times.
Well, no, but I mean that it like popped in his mouth.
No, we get it, but he won't hold it.
Okay, it was the first time on camera.
There we go.
He just drops it on the floor. It's right there.
Well, that's very practical.
And that has been Logan Cookie Time. All right.
We've been working on it a lot.
All right. So, all right. So let's move on to our next build for this penultimate episode.
Dun dun dun.
So this was Caleb and Jacobs, and I gotta say, this was my favorite of all the ones on the floor in this episode.
Great storytelling.
Absolutely.
It was fantastic storytelling. The colors, the colorful castle, and the fact that they used for like different colors for the towers, and they used different roof shapes. Like there's just so much great about this build.
The silhouette, wonderful.
And you guys keep an eye out for the Easter egg because it's a wonderful Easter egg.
Oh, okay.
If you can find it.
All right.
Yeah.
So the story here was that there's a jousting tournament going on, and that this guy goes to the very edge of the bridge to fish, and the fish is so heavy that it pulls down. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. It's just so clever.
Yep.
So let's take a little bit of a closer look. Oh,
That I love this castle. The brick built, the really nice brick built banners, I think add so much to it.
well,
too.
and then their take on it was that it was a resort
Yeah. That's
castle.
what it looks like. Yeah.
And I can't believe how perfectly they married those two ideas together.
Yes.
Like with the colors and all of it, especially the big, the main part of it is just so good. It makes me, it just makes me think of like Miami, like places where you see these really brightly colored hotels and stuff. Just so fantastic.
Now,
God, it's just this thing is just genius.
Yeah.
Hey, look who's here! Look who's here!
Oh, two Cheesy Studios. Hey.
Wow.
Yay! Hi, how's it going? We love this
Caleb.
build.
Yeah.
We love this.
Two.
So
I only
good.
found one. Now, where's the other one?
now
Two Easter eggs, and perhaps you could enlighten us as to what those are.
Well, one is visible right now.
Is it on top of the cliff?
It is.
What is it? I can't.
It's the sunshine wagon yeeting off the cliff.
Oh, that's awesome! That is so good. That is fantastic. I love it.
You gotta love their sense of humor.
That's
is
so
amazing.
cool.
Every build. So it's just like, of course,
That is brilliant, and what a great sense of humor, and to be able to have a sense of humor about yourself, because I know that was a tough moment, but man, that is hilarious. That gets.
Yeah.
I mean, do we have the? Yeah, this gets the applause meter going. This is just really fantastic. All right, let's keep looking at some more little details of this.
Now, do I remember during the episode, this was the model where Jamie said, have you seen that it's separating a little bit? Are you concerned about that?
Yes,
And I would have been concerned, but they seem to have it together because there's a lot of weight hanging there on the wall.
So this one says the second is actually a lobster. Oh, what am I saying? I can just put it up. This is actually a lobster hidden by my brother on the underside of the bridge. It says you can kind of make. Oh yeah, I see it right there.
There it is.
Yeah. Oh wow. Like I would not have been able to tell from the photos.
No, but that's pretty. That's pretty great.
Good job.
I love that.
Good job, man.
And I really love these, like you were saying, these banners with the bee on it.
Yeah,
Like,
I think the scale of those is perfect, and that they're coordinated with the banners on the bridge. I think the decoration cuts across the gray of the bridge. It's just, I love so much about this. The contrast from all the built-in arches looks great.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is like
That horse
seriously.
is fantastic too.
my
I really like the
favorite
variety.
one.
I think it was really smart not to knock like Mark and Stevens, but you can definitely tell, where they use that strategy of repeatable shapes, right? Like they kind of had one shape down and then they're like times 4, right? Which is just not as interesting as this, where you have lots of variety and it's asymmetrical and you've got kind of this dynamic like motion happening. There's just so much more going on here that I thought was really clever.
Yeah, and also too, what I loved when they showed the close-ups of the hello, John from Wales, how's it going? I gotta say, the other thing that I loved when they were showing and talking about the story, the facial expressions that they chose for the minifigs were perfect, like spot on. As our in-house casting director for our minifigs, I was so thrilled by those choices.
And where the heck do you find the time for that? It's unreal.
It's scary to
scary.
Looking at minifig heads when the clock is turning.
But it makes a difference. It really, really makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Now, there was a bit of friendly rivalry here that I thought...
see the cars.
Forced rivalry.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
I don't know. I didn't feel it. I feel like sometimes, the producers have created rivalries like, don't you think, yada better than this. But I felt like it seemed to me like they did want to be the Castle brothers.
Mm-hmm. It's, I
mean, of course they made a big thing with the signatures and all that, but
that's kind of what I mean. They took it over the top. It's pretty
what's hilarious is on Facebook, he changed his entire Facebook profile just to say Castle Bro.
Yeah. I mean,
just like,
who's going to turn down any opportunity to stick it to Mark and Steven, though? Like, I can't blame them.
Something I didn't notice before.
Lean into the humor.
There's the really smart use of train windows in that yellow tower stacked there. It adds so much contrast.
It's just a really beautiful all around. And I think, like we've talked about in a lot of episodes, there's always a couple of that. Caleb.
As you should.
To me, like this one fully embraced the challenge on all levels. I mean, not that they all didn't embrace the challenge, but there's always one or two models that you can see that just really embraced everything about it, and this one definitely did that.
And it even extended far out. I mean, because they could have, they could have conceded that, like, hey, maybe we're not going to win on length, but we're going to go all out in these other aspects. They went all out on every level, I think. Like, they obviously went for the length, they went for the storytelling, they went for the aesthetic. Like, they hit all those boxes.
Go ahead.
No, sorry. I was just going to say, throughout the entire competition, I have been continually impressed by their design skills and their color work, especially. Like, their color work is, they just have this great sense of what colors look good together, and they always do.
Well, maybe this word is used too often, but I think they've shown a mastery of bricks. I think, I think they really have.
Yeah, it's just really, really, really beautiful.
And I would have said that, like, as far as going into the castle competition, I'd like to say that I was rooting for the underdogs, but I didn't really see them as underdogs. They've proven that they were a force to be reckoned with, like, a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and like this roof shape, this conical roof shape is so great.
That's really nicely finished. The inverse slopes with the arches looks great.
And also, too, I really love all the detailing they did with those pushed out bricks. That's one of my favorite little tricks when building large sections of wall. And that's snot pieces with a tile on it.
And the composition on all those, like to actually take the time to compose those snot bricks, to stick those little plates on, tiles on, while the clock is ticking, shows they have some cool about them.
Yeah, it's just very, very clever. And I love that they did break up with the striping, and another favorite thing of ours, And
in the amount of time, it just never ceases to amaze me that it's not only are these like top-notch skills, but in the amount of time allotted,
right,
I'm kind of
Yeah,
shocked.
they're freakishly fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before we go from this one, I do want to thank them for using the main castle body in the back as yellow to harken back to the first castle set ever produced.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you for that. That's a great historical little nod to those people who know the Lego sets and their history.
Just really, really nice. Okay. Next up, we have Michelle and Natalie's build.
Which is
This
a
was the kids'
really-
cardboard castle.
Yeah.
Literally
I love
Really
this
good idea.
concept.
outside the box.
Yeah.
Or inside.
Or and inside the box.
Hey, Greg, London Bridge Bricks is here. How's it going? Good to see you.
One thing I keep coming back to again and again is the scribbled crayon design in pink.
Yeah.
Yes.
I really like
Yeah.
that.
Now there is we definitely saw them struggle.
Yeah.
There was definitely some struggling going on during this, and I totally get it. We've been there.
Yep.
But I really enjoyed the playfulness of this. I really enjoyed the idea of it with like the open boxes, because I am totally that kid that built cardboard castle
Right.
like when I was younger, out of like, you know, refrigerator box or whatever.
My parents got me a pedal car Jaguar convertible as a little kid,
Oh,
and
I'm
were so
jealous.
mad because I sat in the box and went vroom vroom.
Like every kid would.
I came around to the pedal car.
Yeah.
But this was really fun. I love that they put things inside of it.
Mhm.
I think the misstep came here with letting the telescope be the thing that extended out, where everybody else made an effort to like have a giant bridge or some kind of thing that was supporting the castle itself.
A more architectural approach.
A more architectural approach. But there is no doubt that this was, of all of the builds, the most imaginative and the most thinking outside, as you say, the box.
Well, and Amy talks about their how they've brought imagination to all of their builds, like really one of their big things.
And here you can see that work. Now, I gotta say, like we were talking about time constraints. That thing that they did there with the bricked mosaic is really difficult.
Well, because you
manage.
have to make up for all those plates, right?
Right. There's a lot of plate work that goes in, and that is time consuming. Like
Yeah, it is.
extremely time consuming.
And it's such a delightful outcome.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I mean,
I
you can
love-
see the flag, you can see the triangular tower, you can see the base of the thing that you know it's like a kid took markers and just scribbled on the box. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, really, really clever.
Well, and Amy talks about that, about how, you know, she and, you know,
God, that
and her
book.
team there try and get inside of kids' heads.
Yeah. And I love this little open box with all the things coming out of it. The book
And
is
a book
particularly
chicken.
nice. A book. Shut up. I never want to hear those words together in a sentence again.
And those packing peanuts. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know so part of their story was that they were being packed up, like somebody was moving, and their kid was moving, and so they made this out of the out of the scraps of moving, which I love. Very, very cool.
And Michelle and Natalie are absolutely fantastic at creating objects out of brick.
yes.
I mean, just so if
Been
you
noticing
as
that.
you go through this model, just look at the markers. I mean, the ball, the book, like everything. Just you can tell immediately what that object is.
Right, and
Yeah,
I love
I
that
think
they
it's just
included
Those
the
markers are just crazy good.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Yeah.
say, I love that they included the markers that got used to draw the scribbles, which is
Yeah.
great.
Perfect.
I think overall it just kind of got lost in the scale, right? Like we've had that conversation before too, like where this so much of this competition is based on like overall size, where they need things to extend so far or be so high or be so
Yeah.
big, whereas like, you know, really the delight in their build is in all the kind of smaller details that sort of get lost on camera when you're zoomed way out, you know.
Yeah,
I think for me, the parts of this that I like the best are the decorative elements, and I
Yeah.
think they got dinged some for the architectural elements. It just
Well,
it wasn't as castle-like, even for being made out of cardboard boxes. It wasn't as castle-like as some of the others.
Because the whole point was, to see how far out, like that was the challenge, right?
That was the challenge.
That was the target, was to see how far it extended. And they pretty much conceded right away that they didn't have confidence that they were going to win that aspect of it. And so they kind of like Flynn said, with the telescope and everything, it was almost like an afterthought, like that's what they tried to do to make it extend at all. So it's kind of unfortunate that it's just because the challenge was what it was that it sort of didn't even come close. Like if the challenge was to build a castle, it would kind of stand on its own as just being a really cool, imaginative castle, but that wasn't really what the challenge was. So I think that was the struggle, right? Is they kind of conceded that challenge wasn't going to be in their wheelhouse at all.
Well, I mean, and also too, I'll say this, like leaning into childlike building types don't always fly on this
You
show.
don't say.
We know
Tell
we
me
know
more,
that
Flynn.
100%.
Thank you. I know. I need my gif of Randall now doing that.
Well, in our ultimate episode, we got dinged for our piece being childlike when we had aimed at making something that was childlike.
Yeah,
or for children.
Yeah, exactly. But a really fun, really imaginative build.
I do think they had a big challenge ahead of them when they picked tan as their primary color. I think it's a tough color to make really exciting, and they did it with their primary.
Tell me about it.
Tell me more.
Tell me more about this tan that you speak of and how it's a difficult color to work with. Please continue.
Although, the tan does allow for all the other bright colors to stand out. Like if it hadn't been for it being like cardboard, it was meant to be cardboard boxes, but had it not have been for the tan, like that, those marker drawings and stuff wouldn't have been as impactful.
Oh yeah, you can't use brown, right? Brown's gonna just go over everything live. So yeah, you need something light.
Well, the tan is a good canvas,
Yes.
right? Like it's a great canvas for other colors.
Yeah. And I'll also say that this is kind of where, I think it becomes more evident experience versus less experience. Like some of these guys have clearly done certain things a lot and some people less so. And I think Natalie and Michelle have done really, really well to compete at this level with I think seems pretty clearly less experience. Obviously, like they've been pretty candid about it. Like they don't have a lot of experience with Technic. They don't seem to have a lot of experience with like motion and programming and all these really like high technical aspects of building. And yet they've like managed to keep up with the competition, and they're still like I would have given up, I think. Bravo for just like, doing their best and like keeping with it. And every time they still deliver something really amazing, really personal, they do focus on the story and they do a really great job with it. So I'm like, hats off to them for like what they've been able to accomplish with like less of a toolbox. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Well, they finished their pieces. They were super creative and fun, and they won a challenge too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that hat will go down in history. Like that was
well deserved.
I mean, an incredibly amazing build.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look now at the fourth and final build of this show, and that is Zach and Wayne's Heaven's Castle.
Wow, it's striking. So
one of the rules on this was if yours was the longest, you would automatically be you would head into the finals. Now, what I love about this is they definitely set out from the beginning to make the longest one, but they did not skimp on the aesthetics just to have the longest build.
Well, they said 6 feet and they made it 6 feet. And just to get a sense of scale, imagine a person or maybe you are 6 feet tall, standing sideways on this wall. That's how long this is.
That would be
huge.
me. If you've ever seen me in person, I'm 6 feet tall.
Standing
yeah.
sideways there.
Unbelievable.
Planking,
And they
if you
didn't even use all of the yellow bricks to attach it to.
Yeah.
Which
Which
they
they actually
dinged them
got
on
dinged
at the
for.
end, which was interesting.
And this doesn't match the judging.
No, it
Because
doesn't.
they covered those up with gray bricks.
Well, the ones were on the other side. I think there were.
Oh, do you
some
think it
on the
was
other
only
side.
the other side?
Mm-hmm.
But
Maybe
Maybe
so.
they just ran out of time and like trying to set dress or something.
right. Well, first of all, not only is it impressive that it is the longest one, but they mounted their castle in the center.
Yep.
They put all that weight.
Which is actually really smart because, yeah, if you put the weight all at the end, that's what would pull away from the wall. So keeping it centered and then having an extension beyond that is just leverage. I mean, that's really smart.
Well, it's really, really. I think it's really smart too that they're underneath diagonal cross bracing. All that rock work underneath extends out as far as the castle, and then the rest of the model doesn't have that much weight on it when it extends. You know, I'm not minimizing their effort there, but their most diagonally cross braced stuff extends all the way out under that heavy weight.
Yeah,
also the use of just plates, empty plates. For the roof for maximum volume, that their castle is the least heavy of all the castles there.
Yeah.
Right.
I can assure you because it's completely hollow. They put up columns to give more air gap in the base.
Yep.
And just built a hollow rectangle and then laid, plates on top. So really that castle looks a lot heavier than it really is, which is a brilliant power move when you're doing cantilevered build like this.
It's a great roof. I love the yellow bits. Right?
Yeah,
how
the
they
shaping on the roof is really
yeah.
nicely done.
If we're really lucky, maybe we could get all 4 of these teams on sometime to talk specifically about how they overcame the engineering challenges. Because I don't feel like we saw that. I saw a lot of the inside structure of this underneath that rock work, but I didn't really fully understand what they were doing.
Yeah, I mean, again, this has always been my main complaint with the show, and I think many others too, is that they spend so much time. It becomes the Will Arnett show, and then there's no time allowed to actually show techniques that they're using and how they're overcoming those challenges. Like, it would have been really cool to have seen. Like, I almost kind of lost interest in this episode because they were showing so little of the actual like structural, like how they were doing the structural integrity. Like, I didn't see hardly anything of how they were doing the base structures and the supports and stuff. And I just was like, well, I'm not even interested then, because that was the challenge. And that's what would be interesting to see is how they address that challenge. And there was almost nothing aired about it.
Well, the same thing with the tower challenge. Like we heard a lot about what it was supposed to be, but not actually seeing it.
Okay, can I vent for a minute?
Production doesn't understand Lego. That's what we're always coming down, right?
But with this many teams, you would think like at the beginning of the show, you're like, okay, there's 12 teams. I understand why there's maybe not a lot of time, but at this point of the challenge, you would think like they're trying to fill content. They have plenty there of footage of these guys building and stuff breaking and them troubleshooting, and they just don't show any of it. So
can I vent for a moment here? I love Lego Masters, and I really super respect the experience of the Brickmasters and in this case, I'm talking about Jamie, who comes out during the episode with Will with a little demonstration piece of how this is going to be attached to the wall. And then they don't show you how it works. Yeah. They don't show you there's like these snotted pieces on, and you don't get any idea of how he constructed this cool thing in his hand.
Yeah.
And I know he knows how it worked. I'm sure he explained it in detail, but I didn't get to see it watching the show.
Edited it all out. They were like, okay, we got 10 minutes of an explanation. We can use 30 seconds of it. Here, let's go.
Well,
yes.
Yeah, he
so
did a
Ralph
great
Zaccardi
ring walk.
makes a good point. He says, I had this discussion with my mom who likes the show but doesn't build. She said she wouldn't appreciate or understand the building techniques. Showing the techniques could be lost on the masses. Very
but come
true.
on, like a minute, 2 minutes, like just a few more minutes here and there would not ruin the show,
No, I agree.
Even if people don't understand it, they're still going to be impressed with seeing people like, I think it actually makes it more impressive if you see them struggling a little bit, because I don't think you understand how challenging this is because they don't show the challenging aspects of it.
Sure.
Yes.
Well, the way I look at it. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, you go, Moto.
I was just going to say the way I look at it is I wish they would embrace a little bit more Mythbusters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So
Show
if
the
you want to
science.
show that interested people in the way things are working and the way things don't work well, just take that Mythbusters concept and mix it a little bit more Mythbusters in, because there is a wide audience for that type of content, for that type of engineering.
Yeah.
Well, it's not true engineering; it's field engineering, right? It's engineering in the field under duress to make something
shows you
work.
that the science is cool.
Yeah.
That's what.
But,
That's just the way I'd phrase it, right? It's a very practical
isn't
way
it
to look at it.
condescending to, your average audience at all, that they don't think, average Americans are like smart enough or interested or curious enough that you would want to see that content, that they just got to give you these dumb, like scripted, like banter. It kind
That's
of
Fox
enrages
reality
me
TV. I mean,
I don't know.
that's what it is.
Well, it's reality TV, period.
Yeah.
To be fair.
American reality TV.
I have to give
this
Jamie
is-
points for wearing that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on you.
Go ahead.
But Jamie twice under those lights wore that suit.
Full suit of armor.
That,
I'm like, yeah.
I was thinking that must be like wearing the C-3PO suit,
It was bad.
you know?
It was
yeah.
bad. He was a true trooper. From what I heard, he was pretty bad for
So,
him to get through that.
We've gone down a little bit of rabbit hole here. I would like to get back to talking about this build because
Amazing.
it is really great. Another thing about this build was this was very personal.
Yes.
And I know that there was, this was dedicated to their friend who passed away at a young age from cancer, and this was their opportunity to sort of honor him. And I thought that was great. And I love that they've used this picture of him, or like this minifig, to represent him with his motorcycle there on the very, very end of the platform. And it makes a nice focus, I think.
And they did that through the lens of their cultural background too, which I thought was so cool. Like they honored it with this great castle.
Yeah. Well, and also too, I think is important to say that by using I know that they made this style of things, they kind of went outside the expected Western version of the castle, right? Which is what made this one, I think, really stand out, and especially with the colors. So
I definitely appreciated that aspect of it.
Wait, what was that, Cara?
I said I definitely appreciated that aspect of it because, when you think Lego castle, you think
European castles,
Yeah,
right?
it's different. Yeah.
Yeah,
Here we go. Sorry.
That's okay.
When you think Lego castle, you think of Lego castle, classic Western castle with crenellations and everything. But there's a lot more to architecture and castles than our basic brick building. And
it really reminds me of there was back when I was doing video games a lot. I really love like scary video games, like horror games, Resident Evil, like that kind of stuff, and especially like haunted house games. And so often when we see things like that, they are very traditional, like Victorian, gothy, like haunted house things. And then this game came out called Fatal Frame that was all in Japan and had all Japanese architecture and was this haunted and to me it was so much more like I was just fascinated by it, and I loved it so much because it gave me a completely other style to look at. And I kind of feel the same way when I see this. We're so used. This is not to downplay the other castles, which were amazing, but this one really stood out because of that. And I think that's fantastic.
I will say this. This one makes me want Monkey Kid to make a castle. I mean, get someone on a Monkey Kid castle set, because this is just a glimpse of what amazingness could come out of that thing.
Hashtag Justin Ramsden.
Well,
yes, exactly.
anybody.
And here you can see the yellow bricks.
Yeah, there they are.
There.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So let's see. And again, thank you, Yano, so much for providing these. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Wow, you can really just
it's ridiculous.
This challenge was kind of perfect for Zach and Wayne, right? Like I bet that they were like breathing a sigh of relief because this this really does play to their strengths. And as far as the repetitive shapes, it's very like, because we kind of established that where they struggle is with organic, like modeling and shaping, but with the structural stuff, man, they know it.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
for sure.
Well, they added the foliage dangling down. I mean, that just it helped the colors together.
Yeah, it's a little stark for me. Like, it's
well, that is their style. Their style is very stark, very clean and crisp, and not a lot of over popular. You know what I mean? Yeah,
overly detailed.
For what it is, that works.
Well, as you point out, Moto, they kept it as light as possible.
Well, now I know you said, Moto, that these were plates, but that roof doesn't.
Oh, you're right. No, they jammed like 1 trillion stadiums on there. Tombstones. No, sorry, they're cylinders.
They were 1 by 1 round bricks stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, they are. You're right. They're cylinders lying sideways. I messed up.
That's a lot of assembly time.
That is a lot of assembly time. Just a really clever build, really fun, great colors, and again, like different and stood out amongst the rest.
Yeah, I didn't notice that were all cylinders. That is crazy.
Yep. Wow. Amazing. Very nice.
The nice thing about once you go this large is it does become a little bit easier to get that shaping, or making those curves. That's maybe the one benefit of having to build big.
Thank goodness for that. Thank goodness for that tray of epic flex tube that was in the pit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so now we've come to the part of the show where we are going to talk about who went home and who won and who's going on to the finals. So now's the time to mute or turn away if you don't want to know, if you haven't seen it yet. And for this particular one, I want to say, hi, Mom. My mom's here. Hi. I want to start off with who went home on this one. I know usually we wait till the end for that one, but sorry to say we did have to say goodbye to Natalie and Michelle on this one. And to me, that was it was difficult on quite a few levels. And I really, really would have liked to have seen a team of women go through to the end. I really would have liked to have seen that. And their speech at the end where they talked to Brickmaster Amy about her inspiration to young girls who are building was so incredibly moving and meaningful. And I really super appreciated that they were able to get that in right before they left. They were able to tell her that and talk to her about that.
Well, and she was clearly moved.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And of course, now it's interesting that we've now ended. We're going into the final episode with 3 teams of brothers.
Yep.
And I know that we were talking earlier about that. I mean, they do kind of have a little bit of an advantage, in some ways.
Oh, you mean because they've all known one another their whole
since
lives?
Like their entire lives and have been, building together and doing things together for a long time. And I know there is that element to it, but I really was sad to see Natalie and Michelle go because they really did have such a fantastic, playful, and imaginative way of building that we don't always get to see.
I mean, I think understandably it's going to be tough to get a team of women on this show at all, just because of, let's face it, the responsibilities that women have. Most of them are going to be moms and have families and have jobs and have already a million things that they're juggling, and then trying to take that amount of the necessary time off that you would need to do this show, and then to find 2 of them that know each other already or that are related or the whatever, like the odds are stacked against them. So I can only imagine, as far as the casting directors go, like how hard of a time they have with finding any women that are available, much less 2 women that like can work as a team, both competent and experienced and available. Like I said, again, Natalie and Michelle for having I think, less experience, understandably, than most other, dudes that are going to be going into this competition. To have like maintained as well as they did is pretty exciting. And I hope that they're able to find, more of that going forward.
Yep. I mean, when Endemol reaches out to me through my Instagram, and you've seen all the amazing builds on my Instagram, right? They're pretty basic.
They're kind of desperate.
You work smaller, fine details, right?
Oh, absolutely. I just don't have the space.
And don't get this wrong. I've thought about this a lot, and we've talked about it a little bit. Certainly the builds that are moving on to the finals were super deserving, and they're amazing, stunning builds. Mm-hmm. And there's a bit of luck about Lego Masters because you don't know whether you're going to get a challenge that really resonates with you and your experience or not. And in this case, this challenge, I think, resonated with Natalie and Michelle less. Well, just because they didn't necessarily have a background in building castles.
And by the same token, really resonated with Mark and Steven and Caleb and Jacob, who, have a lot of experience with building castles.
And Zach and Wayne, it just being like a straight up structural challenge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they brought all those skills to it. And, my hat's off to all of them. They did amazingly well. It just kind of sucks a little bit when you're like, no, this challenge, like, why wasn't it this challenge?
Yeah. It was, but really, they did such amazing work all through the season. Yeah. And again, I feel like that hat challenge that they built will go down in history as like one of the most perfect, fashionable Lego builds I've ever seen. Just really, really beautifully done. All right.
Also, I wanted to thank them for their mindfulness to stop and deliver that personal message. I always wanted Team Unicorn to get that in from season 1, and to see a season 2 team get this far and have more focus put on them to deliver that message outward was spot on the way to go. That's the way to go.
I agree.
Yeah, because you only get one chance to say goodbye, and if you're going to say goodbye, you better have a darn good message if you're going to go.
That's
the way I approached it. Yeah.
Yeah, I unfortunately spent my message on an episode that we didn't go home on, so they never showed it.
No.
But we got to stick around. So there you go. And then Caleb saying probably one of the most definitive wins on the show with episode 4, probably one of my favorite builds of the entire show.
They killed it.
Absolutely.
Good job, guys.
Very, very cool. All right, so now we're going to talk about, nice segue, Caleb. Now we're going to talk about who won the episode, and it was in fact Caleb and Jacob. I gotta say, like, this was one of the ones where I kind of jumped up off the couch a little bit and was like clapping. I was just so excited to see this. I mean, we knew that, we already knew Zach and Wayne were gonna make it on the the length of theirs, and so it was this is one of those builds that you look at and you just smile so big. At least
I don't know. I think this was a pretty easy one to judge. It seemed obvious.
To me, it was. This was. I mean, I saw some like, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, didn't Brickmasters say this was their favorite build of the whole season?
I think one of them said something like that at one point. It was like Johnny Cat says, a well-earned win, well-earned and well-deserved.
Yeah, that castle. I want to go to that castle.
I know. Maybe not on the bridge part, but I want to go to the castle.
Maybe from the cliffside.
But also, it's not just perfectly executed. It's the darn silliness of the story. It gets back to that playfulness of like, will he catch that fish and will it taste good? I mean, it's like, it's just
the leaning bridge of.
Yeah, it's just so ludicrous that it's wonderful, and then of course the execution on top of that.
Well, you know what I'm a big fan of film, and when I saw this and they were talking about the resort and the resort and castle mushed together, it made me think of Wes Anderson's Grand Budapest Hotel, which, if you haven't seen, is really fun. But I'm also a huge fan of Wes Anderson, and he has a really brilliant use of color work, and this really made me think of his work, which is, by the way, Caleb, a high compliment because I'm a huge Wes Anderson fan. But yeah,
it's a little bit of Monty Python thrown in, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Right?
I'm surprised there's not a coconut guy.
And the car going off the edge. I have to say I didn't notice it in the, like, I saw there was something up there, but it was hard for me to tell what it was. And to know that that's what it is just makes me love it even more.
The judges noticed it, or it was pointed out to them, because I'm sure they got a kick out of that.
So this must be 4 feet tall, right? If that whole thing is 7 feet tall, the castle itself is easily a third of that.
It cleared the top.
Cleared the top and having built something that's 4.5 feet tall, it's
a lot.
It's a lot
in a short period of time. That was some fast building.
Yeah, it really.
And I want to know how it's stuck on there. I want to know all those secrets. How did they lock onto those little bricks?
Invite them on sometime. Maybe they'll join.
Oh, we'll definitely, believe me. Now, like we've been kind of saying all along, I've been sort of waiting.
Holding off, I know.
Holding off for the season to be over before really bringing a lot of people on and talking to them, just because there's so much more that you can talk about after it's over than you can while it's ongoing.
Yep.
And you know, I've definitely been doing these exit interviews for Brothers Brick, but you know, I don't want to be featuring people because they went home. I want to be featuring people on their own merits, and I want to talk about what it is they're doing and what they're building and what their lives are outside of Lego Masters. That's been a really important thing for me, I think, in establishing like our whole thing post Lego Masters, was that like I don't want Lego Masters to define us. I don't want that to be the thing that people remember. Oh, remember that time? Because we're already 2 years gone at this point, you know? So I wanted to make sure that we, you know, have established ourselves in something.
What's 2 years at this point?
Right, exactly.
There is that.
You already established yourselves as the Snake Queen masters. So
that's how I know you guys. That's what I know you for forever, as always, the Snake Queen. That's what made the impression for me.
Right. Well, and I know everybody's heard this story before, but poor Holly put up with listening to the soundtrack to that for an entire convention, and I applaud her for that.
I enjoyed every minute. That was rad.
It was delightful.
Yeah.
But so definitely in the coming weeks and months, we will absolutely be having folks on who want to come on. Definitely want to have Maria and Philip back to chat more with them. We had so much fun with them when they were here, and definitely want to have Caleb and Jacob on. I know I've also been a little reticent to reach out to them because I know that and I apologize, one of them just got married and I can't remember which one. I'm so sorry. One of them just got married, and that's like its own whole thing. So I've been kind of like holding off a little bit. Apologies for that.
But congratulations.
Yes. Congratulations, Caleb and Jacob, for this awesome win. Also, congratulations to the one of you that got married as well on your marriage. So yeah, really, really great. Well-deserved win. Fantastic. So now we've got Zach and Wayne, Mark and Steven, and Caleb and Jacob heading off to the finals, which will be on Tuesday.
Well, and they previewed what the final challenge is, right? They talk about that at the end of the episode. So they've actually taken a little bit of the guesswork out of it and are allowing people to build to their strengths.
So yes. Sorry, Caleb is here saying he's the one that got married. He says, but I think life is calming down. Good.
Good.
All right. Love that.
Don't jinx it.
So wow, really excellent builds. This one, a hard one to see a team go home that we really liked a lot, but that's every week. Seeing everybody as it gets down to less and less teams, it's harder and harder to watch people go, because something I think that when you watch the show that you don't get a sense of, and I know we've talked about this before, and I know Moto you would understand, is just like, it is so difficult being that creative nonstop, day after day after day after day, when also you are kind of aiming at a moving target. Because like this time you have to focus on this, and this time you have to focus on this, and this time you have to focus on this, and it does get exhausting. It gets exhausting after stuff like that.
It is a sport.
Yes.
Okay. It is as much a physical endurance race. Although what's funny is it's a physical endurance race, but you're sprinting all the time.
Well,
you are.
I meant just the physical. What surprised me the most was the physical endurance of it.
Yes.
As well as the lack of, sleep affects you, the emotional side of it. It really is it's a full blown emotional, creative, and physically draining activity to take this thing on for that long.
Yeah. I remember Crystal even talking about how bad her feet were hurting, like to the point that she was barely able to even get through the challenge because she was in so much pain being on her feet and having to walk back and forth to the brick pit. And I think she had something, plantar fasciitis or something going on with her feet, but still it was like, you kind of don't think, again, it's like one of those things you don't think about. Watching people build at a table or walking around occasionally, you don't think of the hours that go on of being on your feet.
Luckily for our season, the footwear they let us pretty much go with comfortable footwear. That was a good lesson from season 1.
Oh God, I will still never forget those first couple of episodes with Amy of Tyler and Amy running in those heels, and I was like, oh
no, don't fall.
I can't believe she did it. Now that I was there to see the size of the set, I'm like, I have no idea how anybody would did this in heels.
That was I gotta say pretty intense, but wow. Okay, well, this has been a rollicking show with lots to talk about, lots to look at, lots of sets coming out soon, and lots of me trying to figure out what we're going to talk about once we don't have Lego Masters episodes to talk about again. We're going to have to
talk about minifigs.
Although I gotta say, I'm looking forward to our sort of stream of consciousness Sunday streams again. They were those were always a good time. So
it would be fun sometime to replicate this challenge.
Yeah.
Build something hanging off the side. Of course, then you have to build the cliff.
That's the hard part.
Exactly.
I'll leave that to you, Richard.
Yeah. All right.
No, that's all you bet.
Although I will say this, Tricky Lugger Dawn, aka Miss Slow-Brickta, has done a miniaturized version of it. She was showing it to me yesterday.
Oh, right on.
But her cliff really was. It was a good scale, if you wanted to do that. But you would need enough basic brick to build up the cliffside like she did.
Yeah, and have it not fall over.
But yeah, if she sent out the spec, who knows? Because her build looked great. Her castle that she hung looks fantastic. But of course it does, because it's Dawn.
Well, for the final episode, they talk about if I understood it correctly, you can build whatever you want without limit, whatever you want, but it has to look different with the lights on than the lights off. And says to me, I think they're going to bring in third-party lighting because Lego's not quite the lighting specialist yet. They're on the cusp. They're on the cusp.
Well,
but
if you've watched
a lot of options right now.
If you watched Australia, you can get a preview by looking up Day and Night or Night and Day. That was the challenge that was thrown at them.
All right, friends. Well, before we go, it's time to share our favorite minifigs before we go. So let's see, Holly, what have you got in minifig land today?
Well, I am currently working on building the video boombox.
Oh,
nice.
And I'm pretty into the minifig that I just put together, which is this guy rocking out.
Oh, he's
awesome. Good. Love that axe. It's like a young Gene Simmons. So.
I love it. Yeah. Awesome. Kara,
My two new favorite minifigs are Astronaut Minnie and Mickey.
Oh my god, that is so cute.
What? Where did that come from?
So these are the new 4+ Disney sets. So this one comes with this amazing rocket.
Oh, what?
Mm-hmm.
Very
Honestly,
nice.
And this one and the Mickey's stunt airplane, they're like my two favorite sets right now. Totally.
Yeah, they're pretty cute.
They are awesome.
Nice. All right, Moto.
Yeah. I finally put together all of the kits that I get from different conventions, and one of them is 2001: A Brick Odyssey from Brick Rodeo. But this space dude, that's a really cool space dude to produce en masse for a convention. I think that's
Yeah,
great.
Yeah,
really
I love
cool.
that color.
Oh, and then you can see the side printing on there, the sleeves, everything.
Need to get Richard one of
Oh
those.
yeah, I'm sorry, I kind of buried the lead here on the back.
Oh,
Right on.
Very
Nice.
cool.
Ooh, I need to get some water. Pardon me.
Splishy, splashy.
All right. Now you got me going. Oh my goodness. All right.
Hydrate, everybody. Hydrate.
Exactly.
Oh, we're splishing and splash when I need them.
Don't drink them.
No, I'm not. Oh, do you know how long that water's been in there? There's no way I'm ever going to drink that water.
All right. All right.
Can't drink the
So
pet
I guess it's
water.
us now, right?
Yes.
All right. Let me get Clicky on
All right.
board. All right. I think we're good.
Well, we here I'll put them on this so I can hold them up there. We got these new Shang-Chi
Ooh.
poly bags. So there we go.
Oh, I do love
Right
Shang-Chi.
there.
I
haven't seen it yet. I got to see it.
I may have a teensy crush on Simu Liu.
I think everybody should.
You
I
should.
know, right? And if you've never seen Kim's Convenience before, the show that he kind of like got famous for, it's pretty amazing.
It is awesome.
So
You mean the show where they've got a fishing rod off to the side that pulls his shirt off every other episode?
I don't know what you're talking about. How dare you? All right. And then mine is the Monster Fighters bat. I love
Good
this
choice.
piece. It's such
I
a good
love
one.
that one too.
And I
Yep.
love the little bat wing arms is so
I
much
love
fun.
those.
And a creepy face too.
That's a
Ooh.
good face.
It is good. All right. Yes, Jedi Rob Frost. I know. That's why when I said
Yeah.
I actually know Simon, so
I was gonna point out that I did a little bit of a like yeah.
Simon Liu cast in that movie would be quite a different experience.
it would still be pretty awesome. It would just be
Yeah,
different.
I'd watch it.
Shang-Chi and the 10 bricks. I don't know.
All right. So, yes, that is it. That pretty much wraps it up for today's show. Thanks, everybody, so much for joining us. Thanks to our lovely panel. And it was so fun to have Caleb in the chat to talk a little bit about that.
Great.
Definitely.
Yeah, that was really a lot of fun. And so just a reminder to everybody that we have a very super special reveal coming up this week. Actually, we've got 3 of them. But one of them we will be revealing on Instagram on Tuesday, and I will be building the set on my Twitch stream on Tuesday. Then we are going to do a review group chat about that set Wednesday night, special Wednesday night Tricky Bricks broadcast. That's going to be 7 p.m. PST on Wednesday. It's going to be really cool and really fun, so hopefully you will tune in. We'll also be revealing 2 more sets later this week, and we will be doing a Lego Masters finale discussion on Friday's show.
Friday, not Sunday. Friday.
Not Sunday. Friday show. And the other thing to remember in all that is we are 1 week out from our We Are Family Challenge. Sorry, I said family because I always think of the song "We Are Family," so I say it like that.
That was going on.
We Are Family challenge with Yano River Blue. It's a pirate-themed challenge, and that means your things will your builds will be due next Friday, or like this coming up Friday. All right. So that's going to be a lot of fun, and we will be discussing those. And I'm expecting that perhaps we may have a little bit of pirate cosplay going on with our panel next week. I don't know. We'll see. I have an eye patch, so
I'm gonna have to get shopping then.
I don't have a parrot, but I have a crow. Does that count?
Sure, why not? It's a goth. It's a goth pirate.
Those are very smart.
Oh my goodness! All right,
I'm so excited, and I'll let everybody know there has been an Easter egg in my background that's part of my build on Friday or next Sunday. Oh,
I let him know.
Yeah, now he's looking. Now he's looking. It's too late, buddy.
I'm gonna go back and watch the replay. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. And until we see you next time, which will be hopefully Tuesday for the big set reveal, and Tuesday on Twitch, and then, of course, our special Wednesday night show. Don't forget to stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands, wear your mask, and get that vaccine as soon as you possibly can. And we will see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Happy birthday.